What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the newest episode of the Realistic Rebuilds. Today, we are doing the Raiders with Jon Gruden as their head coach. Jack Dorilla's got fired. Jon Gruden got that fat 10-year, $100 million deal. Now, I was going to try to relocate the team to Vegas and then do this, and I don't know how to do that within one save. Maybe I could create as an owner, relocate the team, and then fire or retire as an owner and come back as a coach. I don't know. If someone knows that the workaround there, I'm going to do it. But I was more focused on being Jon Gruden, and when you're the head coach, you can't relocate the team. Plus, maybe that sets up another rebuild down the road where we can do a Vegas Raiders rebuild, and this one here is the Jon Gruden Raiders rebuild. So I'm just going to refer to them as the Raiders. We're not gonna get too attached to whether they're in Oakland or Vegas. It's a 5-year rebuild. And looking at the roster here, okay, we got some pieces. And now, when we start at the quarterback spot, we got Derek Carr who's an 88. You got to remember Derek Carr, a little bit of a down year this year, but last season, a legitimate MVP candidate. If he didn't go down hurt, trust me, I'm an Eagles fan. I feel you Raiders fans' pain with how everything played down, even though we were able to win one playoff game so far. But yeah, Derek Carr, 88 overall, superstar depth rate. Now, I kind of, peeked at this roster before I jumped into it, mainly because I wanted to see how old the offensive line was, because I couldn't remember. Did not know Derek Carr had superstar. I thought for some reason he had a quick or a normal. 88, superstar depth rate. He's 26. That is franchise quarterback swag. And he already got signed to his deal, which is, not absurd. It's not like a Joe Flacco contract, but I'm happy with that. Look at the running backs here. We got Marcel, who's an 88. He got a massive scheme boost. He was an 85 base. So, but he's an 88. I mean, he's not a long-term option. We get some young running backs here, but running backs probably a position if we can land a splashier name through the draft. We probably will. Look at the wide receivers. We got Amari Cooper's 23, 87 overall, the quick dev trait. Now, in real life, Amari Cooper's kind of looking like Nelson Aguilar based off of last year. Just really, really inconsistent hands, lots of drops. But in the Madden realm, he's very good. We have Michael Crabtree, 87 overall as well. I don't know if we're going to re-sign him or not. I think he's in his final year of his deal. That's why the savings are so big. We'll have to wait and see what the market's like. Usually, drafting wide receivers in this game is fairly easy. I would say after offensive linemen, wide receivers might be the easiest position to draft. So, I've learned to not become attached to older wide receivers in this game. You can usually move on and find the replacement. We'll see what the market dictates. But he might be a prime candidate for a guy that might not get re-signed midseason. We'll wait to the end of the year. The rest of the wide receivers are all right. Cordell Patterson, Madden 17 cheese when you can move him to running back. We don't need to do that, though. Jared Cook, 30, 89. So 89 is very good. Almost a 90 tight end. I think that's a little overrated, to be honest. But 30, it's a 5-year rebuild. We're going to have to look elsewhere for our tight end spot. We have Clive Walford here. Those OGs from the channel. Remember my NCAA 14 Miami Hurricanes franchise. Walford was the tight end on the U there. And he was very, very good. But we're probably going to need a tight end at some point. Look at the offensive line. Donald Penn, 34. He's an 87 overall. But let's be honest, he's due to retire after a year or two. So we need a left tackle. Collegiate Assembly's 28, 92 overall. 28's like the gamble age. Either we need to prepare for the worst, or we're going to gamble that he'll be good for the full 5 year of the rebuild. And I think with him and Rodney Hudson that are both 28, I'm going to gamble on it. I'm going to gamble that even if these guys regress, they'll still be like high 80s, which is completely acceptable for a team like this to be able to win the Super Bowl, which is our goal. Looking at right guard, we have Gabe Jackson, who's 26. He was an 84 base, goes up to an 87 with the scheme, I guess. Man, like I said, I guess we have a great set of players that fit into Jon Gruden's scheme right away. I guess that's what Mark Davis, he just knew all his players would get a big boost. But Gabe Jackson, 87, quick dev. That's he's there for the long haul. He's going to be perfect age, 26. Right tackle, we do not have a right tackle. So that's a big time spot that we need to improve. Both tackle spots, right now, looking at this team right now, we're going to need a tight end, probably a running back. We need to get younger. This is an old Raiders team. Look at the defense here. We have Eddie Vanderdoss here, a defensive end. We have Danico Autry and Mario. We'll go definitely with Mario Edwards. But what we're going to do is, here's a tip and trick. If you ever play the Raiders, Khalil Mack does nothing at outside linebacker, but as soon as you make him a defensive end, he is a freak of nature. He gets the guy that always breaks sacks and stuff like that. I personally think Khalil Mack is better suited to be that defensive end. But we'll probably modify this a little bit because we are running the cover 2, which means it might not be so much of a, I don't know what the base for a cover 2 is, if it's a 3-4 or 4-3, I'll look into it. But probably going to have to do lots of transitioning here on the defense, which I think is for the worst, or the best story. I think if the Raiders move to a 4-3, they have better personnel for that. Yeah, so looking at middle linebacker, we have Navarro Bowman. Again, just kind of a band-aid to linebacker and core linebacker spot, especially inside has been a position that the Raiders have been ignoring in the last couple drafts. But Bowman's solid. Then we got Alden Smith, 27-85. This is a very interesting one because I think if we move Alden Smith to a defensive end spot, him and Khalil Mack are gonna go off. But like I said, I gotta verify and look at the playbook here and make sure that if it's I don't want to be super out of position if we plan for a 4-3 and actually running a 3-4. Because if we move Alden Smith there, we could probably put Bruce Irvin at a linebacking role. I don't know. Look at the secondary. TJ Carey, 83. Amerson, 83. He's 25. And look at this. We got Gary on Conley, 22. 78 overall. I thought he had a quick dev. But either or, the secondaries, Amerson and Conley for sure. We probably can gamble on those guys being our corner 1, corner 2. Carey, too. I mean, he's not bad. Not a liability. Free safety, we have Reggie Nelson. He's super old. We have Carl Joseph and Obi Melifonwu. What we're going to do here is make Obi Melifonwu a free safety, which is where he should be. I still can't believe the Madden ratings guy gave him huge hit power. Like, he's George Aloka. Just because he's friggin' whatever, 6'3", 217 doesn't mean he's a massive. They give him 85 hit power. I watched a bunch of tape of Melifonwu. He hits like a pillow. We got Janikowski as our kicker. We have 2 kickers. We'll figure that out in 81. Marquette King Punter. Anyways, the roster is very, very interesting. And we have plenty to do. So without further ado, let's jump into the rebuild of the Raiders as acting John Gruden. Alright, so here we go. After we've modded things around, the cover 2 is a 4-3. So our offense stays pretty much the same. Nothing too crazy. Pretty much our starters are our starters. But the defense, we made a massive change from a 3-4 to a 4-3. Secondary, Amerson, Carey, and Conley will be our 3 corners. Melifon will start at free safety. Carl Joseph at strong. Our linebackers will keep Bruce Irvin, whose cover stats for an outside linebacker aren't terrible. So he's an 83. We got Bowman starting middle, 83. And we signed Tilden Williams, who was projected before some off the field things very high out of Alabama this year as a rookie. He was actually cut. So we're going to bring him in as our outside linebacker. But our front 4, we got Alden Smith, who went from an 85 to an 89. We have Khalil Mack, who's now a 99. Mario Edwards and Eddie Vanderdoss, who's a rookie, 77 rookie. Will start as our interior. That front 4 looks absolutely terrifying. I cannot wait to see what the sim does. Actually, I'm prepared to be disappointed, but that is going to be our team. Let's see what happens year 1. This is a team that's good enough. It's not a complete rebuild. The rebuild of this team is more so down the road once these old guys start to retire. So there's a legitimate chance that this Raiders team can make a Super Bowl push year 1, which means that they're kind of getting what they invested in John Gruden right away. So let's see what can happen in year 1. Alright, it's contract time, and I'm actually going to gamble on re-signing Alden Smith, Navarro Bowman, and TJ Carey. I feel like 89, you can't pass up an 89, and that is a very good affordable deal. I'd say the slow dev, but for less than $40 million, for a guy that still is going to be a big part for 3 years, over 4 years, I got to go on that. Bowman, we actually have no cover at linebacker, so we kind of need to get him back there, even though 4 years. He's probably not going to be around in 4 years. You got to show respect to Bubba where it is. We can probably move on at a later date. And then TJ Carey, that's a tough one. He's going to be the last one. Like I said, we have Gary on Conley waiting to eventually take over at the corner role. But 83, we don't have something to replace it. So we're going with what we have. All right, here we are at the end of the season, 10-6. Get the playoff berth right away, which is always very nice. We got a bunch of XP. We got 37,000 for Cooper. I'm very interested to see the stats here. Second in the FC West, the Chargers. We did the Chargers rebuild last week, so we know how OP the Chargers are. So that's almost as expected. But 10-6 for the Raiders. First year back under John Gruden, who hasn't coached in 10 years. I think that is very successful. Looking at Derek Carr, 4,800 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Those are franchise quarterback numbers. Those are better numbers than what I've seen in the past in Madden 18 from Derek Carr, so I will absolutely take that. Looking at running the ball, 1,200 yards, 7 TDs here from Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch, acceptable. Receiving, we got 93 catches, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns from Michael Crabtree. We got 1,000 yards, almost 1,100 yards, and 12 TDs from Amari Cooper, and almost 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns from Seth Roberts. So 3,000-yard receivers, I will take that every day of the week. Look at the defense here. 128 tackles from Navarro Bowman, who actually told us he wants to go to free agency, but there you go. 32.5 sacks, plus 15 tackles or loss from Khalil Mack. We did nothing. This is not even like the spread offense cheese where we did with Baker Mayfield and stuff like that, where you get, this is just, we put Khalil Mack in a 4-3 defense, and he got 32. He broke the sack record by 10 sacks. We got 15 sacks from Alden Smith, who we were able to re-sign, 7.5 Vanderdoss, 6 from Mario Edwards. As I said, our front 4, I was expecting big things. That is like the best season I've ever seen in a sim. Maybe someone could tag me in something crazier on Twitter or something like that. But 32. I got to get a picture of this. I'm gonna snap a pic of this when I come back. 32.5 sacks. That is ridiculous. Our turnovers, I mean, all right. You know, no one went off too much, but those are acceptable amount of turnovers. Taking a quick look here at the yearly awards. MVP went to Russell Wilson. I'm not gonna lie. Derek Carr came in number 4. Khalil Mack, there we go. 32.5 sacks gets you number 8. Like, let's be honest. If you get 32.5 sacks, like, you blow the myth out the water. There is no way a defensive player could win MVP in today's NFL climate. 32.5 sacks. Broke a record by 10. Coach of the Year went to Griffin Murphy, our boy. John Gruden coming in number 8. AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Tom Brady, with Derek Carr running up at number 2. Defensive Player of the Year obviously was going to go to Khalil Mack, with Navarro Bowman coming in at 8. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Deshaun Watson. I don't think we had anyone there. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Myles Garrett, with Obi Melifonwu coming in at 5. Tim Williams at 7, our free agency signing, and Garyon Conley at 9. But 32.5 sacks. Are you kidding me? All right, well, now it's time to take that fear defense and go up against another fear defense in, what's the hell's the place? Duval. Taking on the 9-7 Jags. So obviously it's year 1. We're just going to play the moments. We'll play the moments, though, narrate it, because we might make a Super Bowl run. And when you have a front 4 like that, anything is possible. So let's get into it. All right, here we go against the Jacksonville Jaguars with, in my opinion, we're going to call him the NFL MVP, Khalil Mack, at the helm on the defensive front. What can we do? John Gruden find a way to make Derek Carr serviceable. Looks like we turned the ball over in the red zone, which is never going to work. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, like I said, this looks like it's going to, defense versus defense. Are you taking the quarterback in Derek Carr? Or are you taking probably the better overall defense in Jacksonville? Well, I mean, not bad. 7-3. I'll walk in with a halftime lead, baby. There we go. Okay. Optimism is high. Optimism is high. Okay, no, that's not looking so hot right now. Hold them to field goals. That is good. We're making them settle for field goals. And there's we should be able to get this one. 17-14. Oh, come on. Don't collapse. Close it out. Close the game out. We're in the red zone. There we Oh, we got it. We got this, right? No, we don't. No. God damn it. I hate this game. Alright, so they got the instant touchdown. We lose by 1 point. I hate this game. Alright, let's get into the offseason. God, I hate this game, man. How is a guy gets 32.5 sacks, 15 tackles lost, doesn't win MVP? And then this. How many more months till Madden 19? I don't know the exact math, but this might be my best draft ever. We had a first-round pick, and we traded back because literally the scouting board was that insane. We ended up getting a second-round middle linebacker, 78 overall. Normal dev. I mean, none of the dev traits are super crazy, which means I think I probably had – this is definitely a top 5 draft. 78 normal linebacker. We get an 81. I wonder if these draft classes overlap because it seems like the last couple big 81 second-round draft picks we've been able to get have been defensive tackles. This guy had 41 on the bench press and ran like a 4.7 40 or something crazy like that, as you can see with the speed and the strength. We didn't need a D tackle. I decided to take it. Third round, we got a 79 normal wide receiver. We got a 74 linebacker here. I think he has quick dev. We got a 78 wide receiver here. Quick dev from Indiana State. 74, 74, 76 tight end with quick dev. Like I said, I don't think the draft is carried over, but look at these names, people. I don't just jot them down. Get you some studs. Let's go modify these guys. So here is John Gruden's first draft class in the first round. Well, traded our first rounder. In the second round, our first pick, we made it Roquan Smith from Georgia, 78 overall normal dev trait. Probably would be a little bit higher, but this is actually a realistic pick here that I think the Raiders should make in the upcoming draft. Perfect fit. We lost Navarro Bowman to free agency. This is definitely the kind of player that can take over that starting role day 1. Then with our second pick in the second round, 80 overall. He actually took a hit. I think he was an 81. We made it Daron Payne from Alabama. Only has that normal depth trait, but I think Daron Payne is really a defensive tackle that a lot of people are sleeping on. That definitely could make a lot of noise. Third round, 79 overall wide receiver, normal depth trait. We made it DJ Chark from LSU, 6'3", 192, a speedster with great size. Maybe he could be the next great LSU wide receiver along the lines of Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham, just to name a few. Then we got, right here, we made DJ Moore, 78 quick wide receiver from Maryland. A lot of people are considering one of the sleeper wide receivers of this year's draft class with Anthony Miller from Memphis, and for good reason. He's very, very talented, and I'm excited to add him to our wide receiver core. Like I said, really looking at our Raiders wide receivers going forward, we have, Amari Cooper. We need 2 more wide receivers to eventually take over for Crabtree and Cordero Patterson. I think these 2 guys can do it. And last but not least, here in the 7th round, we had our 76 tight end, quick dev, and we made it Hayden Hurst. I know that doesn't really look anything like him, but Hayden Hurst, the tight end from South Carolina, very talented tight end that eventually for our team could take over for Jared Cook when all is said and done. So that being said, guys, very, very good draft class. Let's move into year 2 of the Gruden Raiders. All right, so here's a quick look here at our starting lineup. Nothing too much. We're going with actually DJ Moore starting the slot. Chark will be starting more so on the outside, and he'll have a bigger role next year, as we assume Michael Crabtree won't longer be a member of the team. But the rest of it, I mean, we didn't get a right tackle. We didn't get a new running back. So even though our draft class was very, very good, we didn't necessarily have the best possible draft class for the Raiders. On defense, Roquan Smith is starting. We have Boyd, who we probably could have modified to a prospect because he might have decent stats, but I usually put the rule of thumb 75 or above because there's only so many realistic prospects we can use without overlapping. Carl Joseph's up to an 86, as is Obi Belafonte. We had almost 40,000 XP last year to spend, so that is looking really nice. We put it all into his stats, not so much. We probably could have afforded like a superstar dev trade or something like that long term, but I just wanted to beef up his stats. Front 4, I mean, Khalil Mack coming off of what... Like I said, we're just going to act like he won MVP because if that season happened somehow, some way in real life, he would have won the MVP of the Football League because they made the playoffs too. But yeah, we got Deron Payne will be starting here over Eddie Vanderdoss. We're just going to gamble there a little bit. Secondary stays the same. So all in all, man, this is, I would definitely say, a team that's as good as the team that made the playoffs last year. So let's do the damn thing and see what we can do. All right, so it's contract time here mid-season, and we're going to have this. That's actually... crazy that like anytime there's anyone else that's in the 90s, especially on the defense side of the ball, it's $100 million. Like Von Miller goes for 100. I guess defensive ends are just lower deals. $50 million for Khalil Mack. I would pay Khalil Mack $100 million, so I'd pay double what he's asking for. Amari Cooper needs to come back. Marshawn Lynch is gone. Jared Cook will be gone. Mary Edwards needs to come back, and that's pretty much it. And we're gonna save a little bit of money here, which is nice. But yeah, man, look at both superstar dev traits. Beautiful. All right, so here we are at season's end once again. Playoffs. Wild card. We have to go the long road. 8-8 Patriots. Hopefully they don't have Tom Brady. But we're 10-6. We're doing our own thing. We're worrying about what we're doing here. So we're runners up once again in a very competitive AFC West. This Chargers. Those damn Chargers. Looking at Derek Carr on the season, a little, not as good as last year, but still an acceptable season. 4,500 passing yards, 30 TDs to 15 interceptions. Running the ball, Marshawn Lynch. At his old age, we couldn't draft a running back last year. Unfortunately, there was no good ones. He paid dividends. Almost 1,200 yards, 15 touchdowns. I will take that from old man beast mode. Looking at receivers there, 84 catches, 900 yards, 3 TDs from Crabtree. We got 1,100 yards, 11 TDs from Amari Cooper, who we were able to re-sign. 681 and 3 from Jared Cook. 1,007 from DJ Moore. 375 and 2 from Mr. Chark. On the defensive front, what did he do? Oh my God. Khalil Mack just almost did, second place down on the all-time sack list. We got 145 tackles, 2 sacks from Roquan Smith, 102 from Khalil Mack with 18 tackles for loss and 26 sacks. I'm starting to see why in a lot of other rebuilds you're going to see around here, they go for Khalil Mack all the time because he's just, oh my God, he's a beast. 13.5 sacks from Alden Smith, 5 from Mario Edwards, 4 from Irvin, 4 from Payne. And in the secondary, oof. All right, could have done better. I'll say that. I mean, I've seen worse secondaries be more productive, but I guess when you're getting after the quarterback as much as we are, it's 2 and 1. What was that? A dozen in one, half a dozen in the other. 6 and 1, half a dozen in the other. There we go. We got our sayings right. Taking a quick look here at the yearly awards. MVP went to Aaron Rodgers with Derek Carr coming in at number 4. AFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Ben Roethlisberger with Derek Carr coming in at 5, which is kind of odd. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack, back-to-back Defensive Players of the Year. I am not surprised one damn bit. He's a beast. Offensive Rookie of the Year with DJ Moore coming in at number 4 and Chark coming in at 10. And Defensive Rookie of the Year going to our boy Roquan Smith. He had that normal dev trait. Hopefully we can get him up into a quick because of this, or maybe a Pro Bowl berth. Deron Payne at number 4. So I'm happy for my rookies. And now we are doing the damn thing here in the playoffs against the New England Patriots because it's only year 2. Like I said, we will continue just to play the moments and see how well our team building can go. So let's do it. Patriots tuck rule revenge game with John Gruden back in the helm, oddly enough. Let's do it. All right, here we go. In the tuck rule revenge game, there's no snow, which, I mean, there's still some precipitation. It's not looking good. Oh, it's not looking good. Not looking good already. Come on, let's go, Derek Carr. Prove. You got that superstar depth trade. You got your superstar wide receiver out there to Amari Cooper. Do the damn thing. This is an old Patriots team. There we go. 14-10. And our defense is starting to do some stuff. And we're in the red zone. Oh, I should have took that over. I don't want to influence too much, but I feel like if I took that over, got a touchdown, we would be in a much better spot. But we missed the extra point. No, they missed the extra point. Okay. This is definitely working out. We're getting missed extra points again. I don't know if there was a new patch or something. We reverted back to like the very first Madden patch where there's mixed extra points every 5 seconds. But there we go. Oh, the back-to-back turnovers. I can't see if they still have Brady or not. We'll check in the box score. But it looks like in the tuck rule revenge game, wearing wonky jerseys, Brady. Is that the last time Brady's gonna step on the field in a playoff game, which would be good for the Raiders? Marshawn Lynch almost 100 yards on the day, 245, and 2 from Derek Carr as the Raiders are moving on to the AFC divisional round and knock off the New England Patriots. John Gruden's going to savor this one. Move on to the next round, boys. Let's go. All right, here we go in the AFC divisional, taking on the 15-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. Our backs against the wall. We are massive underdogs. We all know through the sim what Le'Veon Bell can do, what he's about, unfortunately. It's not looking so good, but we're holding for field goals. They're settling for field goals. We're still a touchdown. Oh, never mind. Hey, you know what? At least we get the revenge game. That's what we needed. And we're giving up faith already. We get a little field goal. We put some scores up, and they get. Oh, okay. Let's be honest. We got the tuck rule revenge game. That's probably as far as we're gonna get here. Got a nice little morale touchdown, 2-point conversion there, but ultimately this 15-1 Pittsburgh Steelers team is too much for a John Gruden that looks like he's 20. We went back in time. Let's see, how many yards did Le'Veon Bell have? Man, how do you compete with that? They got Blunt back as well. I don't know. It wasn't our year. I mean, this wasn't expected to be a super short rebuild. So, nope. Let's see what we can do. Hopefully, we can land a couple key free agents, especially like we had holes. It wasn't like this was our best shot. This was our only shot. We still have to build up this team a little bit to get to where we want to be. At least we've had back-to-back playoff appearances, and now we at least got one playoff win under our belt. So let's jump into the year 2 offseason and hopefully get ready for a big year 3 with the Raiders. All right, so here we are in free agency. Nothing, well, let's be honest. Well, it's kind of crazy. Trent Brown, formerly of the 49ers, is an 84 overall, 26. We'll see what we can get him. I'm not going to be crushed if we don't. But it's time to move on from Marshawn Lynch. And Tevin Coleman, 91 overall. We've used him in one rebuild, I believe, before. I just don't trust. The last couple of drafts that I've done in rebuilds, running backs, there hasn't been a whole lot of good running backs. So I feel like when you have an opportunity to get a 90-plus running back in free agency, especially when it's a big-time position of need, you gotta go. So we have bid heavily over the Bills. So let's see if we can get both of these guys before the draft. Because we're not always going to be able to gamble and lay back on the draft like we had last year, I guess. So we got Tevin Coleman. All right, so big splash. Now it's draft time. Let's do the hard part. All right, here is a quick recap of our draft class. Yeah, definitely not the same caliber of draft we had last year. As you can see, our back end 60, 60, 70, 60 was not so hot, but our first 3 picks were very, very solid and at position need. So in the first round, pick 26, we got a 77 normal dev tackle, which we made Matt Womack from Alabama. You would have seen him in the national championship game. Looks very, very solid as a redshirt sophomore. Now a member of the Raiders. And in the second round, we got a beast of a pick. I think he was he was just outside the top 10 in terms of talent. And we made it Colton Miller from UCLA, 76 superstar dev trait left tackle, replacing Donald Penn. Absolute must for this team. 92 strength, as you can tell. We might have gambled a little bit on a high bench press, but the 91 impact, the 85 run block, I mean, he might be actually better suited for right tackle, but because usually your right tackle is better at run block and your left tackle is a pass blocker, but whatever. 55 awareness. With that superstar dev trait, he's going to be a 90 if this rebuild goes longer than 4 years, which is nice. And then in the third round, we had a 75, I think, quick dev. There we go. 75 quick dev linebacker, which we made Christian Miller from Alabama. So double dipping on Alabama Crimson Tide players. It's usually a safe bet. Good draft. All right draft. Maybe not a good draft. Maybe an all right draft by my standards. But add that with Tevin Coleman coming in over from the Atlanta Falcons via free agency we're ready for a bigger push here and to, get to the Super Bowl, maybe? All right, so here's our roster as we get ready for year number 3. Derek Carr, 90 overall. Nice. Tevin Coleman, 91. Nice. No more Michael Crabtree, so our wide receivers are going to be Amari Cooper, DJ Chark, and DJ Moore. What's his name? It's not DJ Moore, is it? We have double DJs? I just realized like that. We have double DJs. Wicked and Wild West. I won't do that again. But our offensive line, yeah. So we lost Donald Penn, retired. So we have our 2 high draft picks starting at tackle. Hayden Hurst, our new starting tight end, as I kind of expected. Defensive front looks very good. Conley, Emerson will be our starting corners. Melifano up to an 87. Kyle Joseph, 86. Roquan Smith up to an 82. Got that quick dev, which is nice. But linebacker core is young, so hopefully they can continue to develop. But overall, I think this team's as good, I would say, as last year, with potential definitely to surpass it in terms of value as the years go on. So, again, hopefully we can make it 3 straight playoff appearances. Let's get it. All right, so we're at the midseason point. Our record is absolutely terrible right now, and I'm kind of annoyed. In terms of re-signing players, just Rodney Hudson and Carl Joseph. Other than that, man, our record sucks right now. Oh. Alright, here we are at season's end and no playoffs. As I said at the midseason point, things were looking kind of rough. 7-9 is not bad. We were 2-6. 2-6 at the halfway point. 7-9, I guess they tightened up their bootstrap to finish out the season strong. But you think anytime you have your franchise QB, you kind of want to make the playoffs, I guess we had 2 young tackles. They both, I think, had over like 20,000 XP, which is nice. So Derek Carr, 4,600 passing yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 picks. That's a good year for Derek Carr. Running the ball, Tevin Coleman, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. So kind of picking up where Beastman left off. Those 5 fumbles are a little suspect. As far as receiving is concerned, we got 88 catches, almost 1,400 yards, and 13 touchdowns from DJ Shark. We got, is it Shark? Should I call him the Shark? It's Shark, but pulling at strings here, trying to cope with my crippling depression over the season. We got 1,100 yards, 6 TDs from Amari Cooper, 699 and 5 from DJ Moore, 830 and 4 from Hayden Hurst. That's a good season for him. On the defensive front, we got 133 tackles from Roquan Smith. I mean, Khalil Mack, it is what it is. He's the most dominant defensive player. I think he already surpasses Joey Bosa from Madden 17. Look at that, 121 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 26.5 sacks. We got 17.5 from Alden Smith, 7 from Mary Edwards, 3.5 from Deron Payne. We got 3 picks, Carl Joseph, 3 from Melifano, 2 from our corners. This is actually the first respectable season in terms of interceptions that our secondary has had so far. So our defense might have been their best it was, I guess. I don't know, maybe we just ran into the wrong teams at the wrong time. Alex Smith won the MVP. That's pretty lol. Derek Carr coming in at number 8. AFC Offensive Player of the Year with the Le'Veon Bell. Derek Carr coming in at number 3. Defensive Player of the Year with the Khalil Mack for the 3rd straight season. He is a god amongst men. Offensive Rookie of the Year. No one. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Christian Miller. Nice. Back-to-back Defensive Rookie of the Years for us. Hopefully that helps him out a little bit and he can follow the same path that Roquan Smith has. But yeah, disappointing to say the least. 7-9. But we'll be back. We'll be back next year. We'll be fine. We'll have another beastly offseason and get to where we want to be. We'll right the ship. Not gonna lie, usually year 3 free agency period is where you can get your studs and stuff. This is a very weak year 3 free agency period, so we're overbidding to try to bring in Miles Jack here so we can put him at one of our linebacker core to pair with Roquan Smith and Christian Miller, which would be nice. But it's really tough to predict free agency lately because even though I overpay immensely and seem to tick off a lot of the boxes as to what they're looking for a new team, I don't get them. So let's see what we can get. Can we add Miles Jack? Probably not, but maybe. Hey, we got Miles Jack. Welcome to the squad. Shoring up our linebacking core. Now all we need is a very solid draft class, and we will be back into the playoffs before you know it. Ooh. Oh, 80, 78, 77, 80 fullback, 75, 78, 7th round pick, 78, superstar. Oh, baby. He's back. Alright, so here's our draft class with a little bit of imagination, if you will. So in the first round, we selected Chauncey Gardner Jr. from Florida. 80 overall normal depth chart. Now, he is currently a sophomore, so let's just act like, maybe he had a red shirt medical season or something like that and was able to be there for a 5th year, which is why I really just wanted to play with Chauncey Gardner. He's one of the best defensive backs on Florida. Think of Minkah Fitzpatrick. He's one of those guys that, when he gets to his time to be with the draft. I got to say, well, he's good enough to play corner. He's good enough to play safety the next level. What are you going to get? We need a corner, so we're happy to have him there. Then in the second round, this quarterback, I had to draft this quarterback. He was a third-round grade, didn't attend the combine, had A throw power, B+ short throw. It ended up being a 78 quick, which we made Jalen Hurts. Everyone knows Jalen Hurts got bumped out from the starting quarterback gig by Tua Tagovailoa in the national championship game. My prediction is Jalen Hurts is going to follow Lane Kiffin to Florida Atlantic. I don't think he's an NFL QB. I think he's going to be one of those guys that transitions to a running back. He's incredibly powerful. But, I mean, for, freshman, sophomore QBs that I have at my disposal to use in these rebuilds, he's one that I figure, why not? Why not give him an opportunity here and see what can happen? We left a lot of these guys unmodified. We got a 77 center in the third round, Cole Bonani. We got an 80 overall fullback here. We all know how John Gruden likes his fullback. Shout out to Mike Allstad. We got a 75 tackle just because we need the depth spot. We got a 76 right guard because we need the depth spot. And then one of the best picks we've ever had in the rebuild, 7th round, 78 superstar linebacker. If you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted this out. That this is an absolute stud, which we made Caleb Kelly, the linebacker from Oklahoma, a real prospect, a real big-time playmaker in college football. So there you go, another, 2 or 3 phenomenal draft classes. Very excited as we get ready for season number 4. All right, so for number 4, here's our team. Derek Carr up to a 92 overall. DJ Moore's an 84 on the slot. Amari Cooper stays at the 92. Chark is an 84, but he now has a very nice superstar development trait, which is, money. Hayden Hurst up to an 83 overall. We got Womack here. Only a 79. A little disappointed that he's not into the 80s yet. But Colton Miller with that superstar dev trait might not have had the best year. But, he had 50-some awareness. So you bump that up. We get up to 79. He's now an 85 overall. So our offensive line is taking shape. Our defense, our front 4 relatively stays the same. Not a whole lot of production. I decided to go with Chauncey Gardner as a starting corner. Florida Gator bias. Linebackers, Roquan Smith, 85. Miles Jack, who came over via free agent, 84. Melifon was an 89. I did not expect Melifon to develop as he has so far. But that's absolute money. And Carl Joseph, 88. Really good. Maybe one of the best safety pairings in the NFL at this point. So I'm expecting us to get back to the playoffs. So let's do it. All right, midseason point. I will say our record. No spoilers. Our record is decent. Time to talk about who we're going to re-sign. I'm saying we're going all in. Marquette King can suck it. I don't need that much swag at my punting position. But Melifonwu, Assembly, and David Anderson. Yeah, let's be honest. Realistically, we probably could survive with Assembly, Melifonwu, and Conley right now, which is what I'm going to do. And anyone else, maybe once they hit the open market, we can look at bringing them back. Well, wasn't pretty, but we made the playoffs with an 8-7-1 record. We'll take it. Looks like the offense is firing on all cylinders. We got a +2 to our fullback. Why not? We don't know. Like I said, the Mike Allstock connection. Gruden likes his fullback. So, third place in a very, very competitive AFC West, which we've made the playoffs 3 times, but have never won the division yet. Let's take a look here at the stats. Derek Carr, his best year as a Raider, 4,400 passing yards, 39 touchdowns, 16 picks. He's been everything we need him to be so far in this rebuild. Running the ball, Tevin Coleman, 1,300 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's, acceptable. Receiving, we got 82 catches, 759, and 3 from DJ Chark. We got 1,109 from Amari Cooper, 1,112 from DJ Moore, 708 from Hayden Hurst. All acceptable numbers there. And on the defensive front, 125 tackles from Roquan Smith. Again, Khalil Mack, just simply insane. 111 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 23 sacks. We got 16.5 sacks for Aldon Smith. 4 picks, Carl Joseph. 3 from rookie Chauncey Gardner. We got a couple picks, so defense has been playing very, very good for us, as is, John Gruden's nature. It seems like he always has a good defense, no matter if he's on the Raiders or the Bucks. MVP went to Jacoby Brissett, so things I didn't think I would have to say today. Derek Carr came in at number 8 for the MVP race. Offensive player of the year went to Ben Roethlisberger. Derek Carr coming in at number 6. Defensive 4 for 4, baby. Khalil Mack, 4 straight. Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's a beast, man. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Our fullback came in at number 3. Okay. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, we didn't win it. The first time we didn't. Chauncey Gardner coming in at number 5. But hey, we get a playoff push, and we're gonna try our best to win some of these games. We're gonna spend this XP. It's only year 4 or 5. So once again, we're gonna hope to God that the sim can take some mercy on us. As we look to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars in Duval. All right, here we go in Jacksonville. Let's get it. Derek Carr, you're a damn 90-some. Let's show them what beat a 9. I think he's actually 90, 92 now, 94, 92, something like that. And we're settling. We're missing for field goals, and we're settling for them in the first place. Come on. There we go. 7-7 ball game. We know that Jags defense is probably old, but they're still pretty damn good. We have Miles Jack, a little bit of a revenge game here as we equalize. 14-14 ball game. Let's go, baby. Come on. Come on, John Gruden. You got that experience. Maybe. Stop settling for field goals, man. Execute in the red zone. And they get the instant TD. And then we punt it. And then they literally control the clock for the last 3 minutes and we lose. Oh, I hate this game. The drafting is fire. The sim is terrible. We're going to year 5. I should have just played this one. I should have just said, screw it, we're going to win it in year 4. Oh, my God, man. All right, so usually, like, the year 5 free agent periods where we go all in, there's crazy free agents. We have all our money. You know, you throw it. We can't spend it after this year. Look at the terrible class, man. Like, the only guy we're signing is re-signing Khalil Mack, who turned down our deal mid-season. Hopefully we can land him. I don't really know where else we're going to be able to take this team. We have, like, a decent amount of XP, so, like, our defense in particular got a lot better. We got Assembly, which is nice, but, yeah, what a... Man, this has been a good rebuild for drafting. It's been a bad rebuild for getting lucky in free agency. We've only got Miles Jack, so... All right, year 5, Super Bowl or bust time. All right, year 5. Here's a quick look at our draft class. We got an absolute stud here, to be completely honest with you. We needed a backup to Tevin Coleman, so we went with the best running back on the board. A.J. Orange from Oregon, 82 overall, quick depth. I literally feel like I've drafted this prospect before. Like, A.J. Orange sounds like a familiar name. I do know that you reuse prospects every now and again. But look, he's a nice power back already to pair with Tevin Coleman as a bit of a speedier guy. You know, I pretty much just drafted now, usually in year 5, like if you've watched a rebuild before, I just go for what we need for depth. We need a backup tight end. We got a 76 tight end here. Normal, he's predicted to go in the 7th round, but we took him in the 4th. And a 75 Garrett here with a quick depth trade in the 6th round. But all in all, man, the draft usually doesn't matter a whole lot here in year 5. Super Bowl or bust time. Let's get into it. Yeah, all right, so in a Super Bowl or a bust scenario, I'm very, very happy with what our team looks like right now. Derek Carr's up to a 94. We got Coleman, who's a 90. Our wide receivers, Cooper's a 93. DJ Moore, an 87. DJ Chark, an 88. Hayden Hurst, 84. Offensive line, all in a B's. Colton Miller's a 90, kind of as I projected a little bit. On the defensive side of the ball, we're pretty solid. Melifonwo's a 90. Carl Joseph's an 88. I guess our corners could be better. Conley has not developed well at all. He's only an 82 still, but we have Chauncey Gardner's an 86. Aldon Smith's an 83, but I still expect him to get like double-digit sacks. Khalil Mack's been the best, without a doubt, the best defensive player we've had in a rebuild in history, be it Madden 16, 17, or 18. Linebacker, of course, looking solid. Roquan Smith is a 90 overall. Miles Jack, 86. Christian Miller, 82. So once again, man, I feel confident that we can, if things play right, like I said, we're going to be controlling the team if we make the playoffs. I feel like we can make a Super Bowl run with this squad. So no point stopping mid-season talking about contracts. Let's get to the end of the season and hopefully a post-season berth. You've got to be kidding me, man. We didn't even make the... Don't get demonetized. We didn't even make the playoffs? Our best team, we didn't... Not only did we not make the playoffs, with our best team, we finished last in the AFC West. Well, if Madden's any indication, maybe Raiders fans didn't get all their questions answered with the John Gruden hire. I don't know, man. Maybe he'd do a better job. Derek Carr, 4,600 passing yards, 28 TDs, 13 picks. We got 1,200 yards, 11 TDs, Tevin Coleman. 1,200 yards, 3 touchdowns, Cooper. 1,200 yards, 11 TDs more. 856 and 6 for Chark. Defense. You know what it was? Khalil Mack didn't get 30 sacks. That's why we didn't do well. Another outstanding season. 19 tackles for loss. 19, like... Let's just admire what Khalil Mack has done for us. So we took over here. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and... Got like 120 sacks in 5 years for Khalil Mack. Like averaging, I don't know what that would be. That'd probably be like a 25. 25 sacks this season. So for all 5 years, Khalil Mack has broken the actual sack record in the NFL in real life. But oh, that sucks, man. I really want to win that for Khalil Mack, especially because I mean that is one hell of a performance, man. He's been lights out. But I mean, I guess our streak had to come to an end. I think we have won the Super Bowl. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we've won the Super Bowl 3 of our last 4 rebuilds, so I guess it was a matter of time till something incredibly disappointing like this came along. But I mean, that's Madden for you right there. We had the strongest team on paper. Derek Carr's at 94, so like everything I would have guessed. If you ask me right now, C4, what have you learned from Madden 18? Like, what are the certain requirements to go to the playoffs or do well in the sim? I would say you need to have a 90-plus quarterback, let alone a 94-plus quarterback. You need to have at least a 90 wide receiver. Your offensive line can't be weak in any area, and you have to get after it on defense with either a beast guy that gets sacks, like we have in Khalil Mack, or a turnover guy in the secondary. We have all of those things, and we have the worst year. Oh, man, that sucks. But yeah, I guess that is our realistic rebuild of the Raiders with John Gruden. Maybe, we left the door open for another potential Raider rebuild by moving them to Vegas when all is said and done. We'll probably revisit that once we get through the rest of the teams. Let me know what team you want to see next on the realistic rebuilds. I have a feeling it might be the Detroit Lions, but, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. I think there's 6 or 7 teams left. So let me know in the comment section below. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.